Hello, good evening and welcome to Breaking Views on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, fourth day in the parliament, almost washed up. No legislative business, slogan shouting, accusation, counter-accusation. That's all that we saw in the parliament, the house, where people's representatives are supposed to deliberate on the most important things for the people of India. And what could be more important than Manipur? It's been 3 months of unrest, insecurity, sporadic violence, which continues in the state. Though little steps towards normalization have begun, like partial lifting of the internet ban, but the state has a long way to go before any semblance of normalcy. The spillover effect of the situation in Manipur is now visible in Mizoram as well. From thousands of displaced people seeking shelter to communities of the state of Manipur, Mizoram is also tense. And while the horror stories of inhumane violence and sufferings, lives destroyed beyond repair, keep tumbling out, enraging, angering people across the country, one would have hoped for the government at the center, nothing would be more important on their agenda than Manipur. But as the country awaits to hear from the government on what went wrong and who is responsible for this unimaginable tragedy, meaningful debate, discussion, questioning continues to be absent as lawmakers on both sides of the divide are busy scoring political points, indulging in the game of one-upmanship. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in a hope to again stir the conscience and hopefully bring a sense of urgency to the lawmakers on why Manipur needs a meaningful debate and solution, without any further delay, I will refrain from political tutu-meme and bring forward the stories of those who have suffered the most and their wait for justice, which at this moment only continues, a very, very long delay to begin with. I want to start with the story of a 19-year-old tribal woman who escaped from the clutches of death, who escaped from the clutches of the abductors in violence hit Manipur. The brutality has been inhumane. For any other person, it would have been just an ordinary task, like for this young woman to get out of her house at the Chekon colony in Imphal to withdraw money from the ATM. And then what she suffered, her ordeal, is shocking beyond words. Take a look.
As violence unfolded in Imphal, several people tried to escape from violence-hit areas. A 19-year-old tribal woman claims as she was planning her escape and went out to get money from an ATM, she was kidnapped by a group of men from this area. And that's where her trauma started.
More stories of horror from Manipur, where women have been at the receiving end of the violence in this ethnic conflict. A young woman claims she was kidnapped by a group of men and then assaulted and handed over to a valley-based underground group on May 15th. She alleges she was taken to a hilly area and then 3 men took turns to rape her.
In police station na Bishempur police station na ipulunin so le police ho chun itachun idongin white bolero ka indalen tai eng sit ko chungin a bole ka ti pha na hin adalovin bolero ya kha movin na so ba bolero ai ama wa hin club mi ho ko hi veti in na cha hi poi agariu ba metal ho Mister ho tham cham ho kha wo ke pu ve ka ti na chapa na hi hong kumin ka chek de ti pha na hin azam ho vin ki cha ta vin azam ho vin chapa na hi ama ho a ko na hi tai chu ibogen thai zo wa hi ibogen thai zo wa hi zun thang nge ka ti a hi ko zun nong chu so di pon na e wa nga ko lung thema chu tai chu sai nom na kha kan nei na dun thang ka tin tin che pha na chu ka khot bo hi hlep pi win ka mi hi hlep pi bo win ka khot hlep ma wa hin ka to win ka lung yang a vai se sun ko wa ke ya en lo wa I vo pha na win tui don nge ka ti le yong I don sa ai win ka ma yo pu sun khom nan nei win na da chun zan kha hi I bol eng si de win I bol gen the yo win I chip na win so wa chun ka mi hi an ken all in ka ki hlep min na so wa mul chunga pa na chun ka thi ka hing ka ti ka hong ki li su jing in na ka hong ki li su in zawa main road ka hlonga in auto rickshaw khat hi ahong in.
The woman eventually managed to reach Kangpokpi and then she was referred to a hospital in Kohima. According to her complaint at the Kangpokpi police station, which she was able to file only on 21st July. She says she hid under a pile of vegetables in the auto she escaped in. More than 2 months later, she filed a complaint with the Kangpokpi police station. Now a case of gang rape, criminal intimidation and kidnapping with the intention of murder has been registered at the Porumpat police station. Police sources say they have recorded a statement of the officer in charge of the police station. She visited briefly and checked the CCTV footage in nearby areas. The police admit no arrests have been made, no accused have been identified, and they have not found any evidence in the course of their investigation so far.
The police say the investigation into this horrific complaint of alleged kidnapping and gang rape is underway, but the lack of evidence to corroborate what the victim has alleged is hampering the investigation, and it's this lack of evidence that the police are claiming that puts a question mark on whether these victims will eventually get justice or not. With camera person GD Shankar in Manipur, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Let me just stay on with Manipur for a moment because we are talking about that woman who suffered the most. After drawing a lot of flack from all quarters for its delay, inaction and some would say insensitivity, finally a delegation of the National Commission of Women led by Chairperson Rekha Sharma is in Manipur. They first visited Churachandpur and held meetings with women. According to sources, they also held closed-door meeting with the women victims, including those who were paraded naked in that viral video. While this visit, ladies and gentlemen, comes after, Swati Maliwal, the DCW chairperson, who is also in Manipur to meet the victims of this violence. But why I am saying that the NCW's action is, too little, too late. Let's very quickly, refresh your memory as far as the NCW and its role is concerned. 4th May, horrific parading of sexual assault and of these two women. The video goes viral. In fact, this assault takes place on 4th May. 19 July, horrific video goes viral. Reports claim that NCW received a complaint on 12th June on behalf of these two women. On 20th July then, NCW takes suo motu cognizance, asked DGP Manipur to take action and asked Twitter to remove. After they have received the complaint, they suddenly are also taking suo motu cognizance. Make no sense. 21st July, NCW claims complaint was received on 23rd May. NCW says complaint was forwarded to the Manipur administration and second letter was sent on 19 June. On 25th July, NCW delegation visits Manipur. Don't you think if the commission was serious, they would have possibly visited the state slightly earlier? Now, what is happening in Manipur is also having a ripple effect as far as the neighboring state of Mizoram is concerned. In Mizoram, ladies and gentlemen, the impact is directly being felt. The state is hosting thousands of refugees displaced because of this senseless violence. There is tension also in the state after a former militant group issued threats to the Methi community to leave the state. And today these visuals that you're seeing, we'll just play these visuals full frame once. Huge rally, massive rally in the capital as well, where the Chief Minister was also in attendance in support of, in fact, the tribals of Manipur. Now, these two states are on the edge. And to understand what is the situation on the ground, let me very quickly at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, go across to Mr. C. Lal Rosanga. He's the Member of Parliament from the Mizo National Front, the party which is ruling the state of Mizoram, I beg your pardon. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us here on NDTV. I want to start by asking you, sir, give our viewers a sense of what is happening first in your state, Mizoram, where there are refugees also coming in from Manipur. And is there a sense of tension because of the threats which have been, been issued against the Meitei community?
No, there is no palpable tension as such, because the notice which was apparently given has now been diluted, and the state government is giving full security to Meiteis. As of now, today, we have been having solidarity rallies all across the state, and we stand with our brothers and sisters from Manipur, and therefore, at this time, there is not much of a tension, no high tension, as I could see.
How much of a load Mizoram is sharing at this moment of the refugees, those who have been displaced because of violence in the state? How many refugees are there in your state, and how are you dealing with that situation? Are you getting some support from the center?
We are sharing no, so far, no support from the central government, even though we are expecting and we are asking. But the state government and the people of Mizoram at this time are playing host to about 12,000 internally displaced persons from Manipur. And we are taking care of them, the NGOs, the church, the community, and the state government, to the extent possible, is taking care of them, giving them shelter and food.
Sir, I would also like to understand from you, because we heard the Home Minister of Mizoram today, though he said that though we are part of the NDA, but a lot of questions need to be asked as far as the central government is concerned, and he also was very critical of the government of Manipur. What are your views on the way the government of Manipur has handled this situation, and also by the central government?
I think the situation in Manipur has gone out of hand right from the beginning. The situation has not been controlled. Law and order situation is completely out of control. So I think the state government in Manipur has entirely failed, and therefore we have been asking for the dismissal of that government and at least a central rule in that state, because the state is in shambles. There has been killings and carnage and arson and rape and all. We just saw the footage of that. That was just the tip of the iceberg. So we are angered, we are anguished, because our brothers and sisters from the state of Manipur have been coming and have been telling us stories of their sufferings. And moreover, we are also getting reports about what's happening in Manipur, and the world knows about it. We have to do something about it. The central government also has to do something about it. But nothing helpful has so far been done. No fruitful results has so far come out from all the initiatives taken. The peace committees have not really been doing anything at all.
Right.
We see that the DCW reaches after 2.5 months. So we are not satisfied with the situation there in Manipur at all. We are not happy with the situation there in their particular state, and we don't want the peace of Mizoram, the hard-earned peace of Mizoram, to be disturbed in any way. We want Mizoram to be a heaven of peace for those people.
You're making a very important point, sir. I want to also ask you, but like you said, you don't want the peace in Mizoram to be disturbed. There are reports that, there have been some people, those who have been arrested with a huge amount of weapons and all. Do you feel that this could have a ripple effect in other states as well? The hard-earned peace in Northeast could be could be disturbed with what is happening in Manipur.
Of course. We are very much concerned about the seizure of arms and ammunitions lately, but then so far we have been able to preserve the peace and the peace and tranquility of Mizoram. And Mizoram has been a place where people have been coming in as refugees from Bangladesh, from Myanmar. Internally displaced persons from Manipur have also been coming. So if we want this state of ours to be a heaven of peace, so
Right.
that people can take shelter and let them be at peace. But why should we be disturbed just because neighboring states are disturbed?
You are part of the NDA, and that's my last question to you, sir. You are part of the National Democratic Alliance, which is ruling at the center, has the government in Manipur as well. Has your anguish been heard on the NDA platform or at the government, central government level as well?
Yeah, our Honorable Chief Minister has been writing to the central government. I also have been raising these in meetings, all-party meetings and in NDA meetings. But so far, I think it has mostly fallen on deaf ears. You just mentioned assistance for taking care of the internally displaced persons from Manipur. No help has come from the central government so far, even though Mizoram is a small state without much resources. So we need support. How long can we take care of all our brothers, even though we are willing?
Thank you so much.
As far as our
Right.
alliance with,
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
yeah, let me finish this. As far as our alliance in the NDA is concerned, we are still in the NDA, but as you said, there is a big question mark, and we are, yes, asking ourselves, should we remain in NDA when one of the member states, that is Manipur, is doing so much harm to the citizens? We can't allow them to continue doing that. And therefore, we will not support that government and the party which is, running it.
It's a very important point that you are making at this moment. Mr. Lal Souranga, thank you so much for joining us at this moment on NDTV. Appreciate, sir, you speaking to us.